Well, as things roll on here from the 2025 NFL Scouting Combine, I'm thrilled to be joined by former NFL QB, former assistant in New England, if I'm not
I
mistaken.
was there for about 18 or 19 months.
I want to get your coaching.
Yep. I got in
pedigree
there. I think I was, I was like, I use a word that I probably shouldn't say on here, but I was just the do it boy, right? I was quality control, do whatever they asked me to do, and it was a great experience. It was.
Love it.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, storied TV career you're putting together here, and current co-host of Pro Football Talk, Sims Unbuttoned. I'm sure a number of other things as well.
Yep.
And I will say, you're going to have to try and compete here with your co-host, because in New Orleans,
right,
I had Mr. Florio on.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
And that was during the MVP talk and
sure.
Lamar. So
yeah,
he came in hot there, and he was getting after it with the live chat, which is pretty
I
hysterical.
love it.
You
I
really
love
like
it.
to get after him. I know you like when people get after him. But anyway, I wanted to bring you on just to talk. First of all, Chris Sims is here, if you haven't figured that out by now. But I want to talk through a few Ravens offseason items. And when you look at them at this point in the Lamar era, crazy enough, he's going into year 8.
Can't believe it.
Right?
Yeah.
And obviously, it's been 2 years of heartbreak in January.
Yes.
And then overall, it's been underwhelming in January throughout his career. What is it that you feel like they need or haven't yet done to get over the hump in that month?
It's a tough one there, right? And let me just say, it's not him. And it's there to be had. For him specifically, my 2 cents would be he just tries too hard into some of these big games. Playoff football at times, bad snap, ball on the ground, just go down. Don't try to, I'm going to pick it up, now throw it, now try to do a 360 whirl out of a guy's tackle and try to make it happen, right? Those are things that, I think he wants it so bad. And he's such a great player. I mean, listen, Lamar Jackson is one of the greatest players of all time. Like, there's no doubt about that. Like, it's Josh Allen, what we're watching right now, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Mahomes are all-time greats. Now, he needs the Super Bowl on his resume, I know, for everybody else to believe in him. I understand all of that. But I think with him specifically, it is a little bit of that, of just wanting it too much. You take it back to the Titans were the number 1 seed game. There were some turnovers there and extending plays where he fumbled.
Drops.
Playoff, you're playing against, right, you're going against better teams. Yeah. They're a little more dialed in. Yeah. They're going to do a few things that, we didn't expect them to do, and maybe you have to be a hair more conservative. But it's hard to put your finger on it. They're a very good football team. And, yeah, it stinks because – I mean, when the playoffs started this year, I picked the Eagles and the Ravens. I thought there's no doubt these are the 2 best teams when the playoffs started.
And December 1st, you're probably feeling good about that pick.
I was. I kind of late November said Philadelphia is the best team in football. And then when we got in late December, just for my podcast for fun, I was like, let me fill out a bracket of the playoffs. And I went, well, it's going to be the Ravens and the Eagles. They're the 2 best teams in football. Yeah. And that always stinks when you don't get to that game and we're definitely one of the 2 best teams. Happens 2 years in a row. They're close. But it ain't easy.
No.
And let's not forget, it's not like they're going against a bunch of choir boys here. Kansas City's all-time great. They're an all-time great football team. So it's not easy just to dethrone them, let alone the AFC, and some of the firepower that's in that conference is tough too.
When your mind starts to wonder, it's like if you ended up if the Ravens were in the NFC over these last 7 years, you just wonder. It begs the question, like, what would have happened?
I hear you. I hear you.
Yeah, that's neither here nor there. What I'm about to ask you, I don't want to go into it too far because we have beat this on this show. We have beat this topic to a pulp, but I would be curious to hear your perspective as a former player.
Right.
I've had conversations with different folks over the course of this offseason, and the topic of pressure management comes to mind. And I don't know how that relates to the Ravens when it comes to coming up small and big moments.
Well, I think it's what we're talking about right here. Yeah.
Right? I mean, it has to be a component.
It definitely. Now, whether that has to be something John Harbaugh has to just figure out and try to find some cool ways to get his players to react to pressure differently or rise to the occasion. Yeah, he's going to have to be creative. But again, I don't look at it and just go, oh man, they're not ready for the moment or anything like that. It's a tough place up in Buffalo.
Yeah.
It's the Kansas City Chiefs with a chip on their shoulder going, I can't believe we're coming in here in Baltimore and everybody's picking Baltimore. We're ready to go today. We are the Super Bowl champs, if anybody forgot. Yeah. So, he's going to have to find some ways to tinker with it. But I don't have –
You think it starts with him? It's not an individualized –
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think it's an individual thing. The only person I can look at it individually a little bit is, like I said, was Lamar. Whether you just – like even the 2-point conversion. Again, I got a lot of flack.
I know you're on record for the throw. Yeah.
But I know Mark Andrews should have caught the ball.
Yeah.
Like, when people listen to the whole clip, I understand that. But it's also the best player in football, and he missed the throw. I'm allowed – both can be true. I'm so sick of people telling me I'm racist or whatever because I said that about Lamar Jackson. Like, come on, anybody that watches me knows I love Lamar Jackson. So I hate that. But that would be a moment again where I think he wanted it so bad. Oh gosh, he's open. Let me just give it to him instead of throwing it the way he always throws it.
Yeah.
And again, he's the man. And he's not choking. I think it's more of like wanting it so bad, wanting to be the all-time great, wanting to get to the Super Bowl. Sometimes you can do that, right? Like you've probably had a girl I want this girlfriend so bad. You over pursue her so hard that she's like, you're weird, you're annoying, I don't like you anymore, and you blow it. And you're like, damn, all I've tried to do is try to love her and get her flowers, and it's just like it's too much. She's like, what? You're a weirdo, right? Sometimes
if
you can just do too much.
A little bit of my personal life.
Well, apparently I know now from what I'm hearing.
You are speaking to my audience right now more than you already know because so it's Bobby Baltimore is my brand name, but they want me to change it to Bobby Bachelor at times because I'm 30 and single.
Okay.
A dog dad.
I got you. Yeah.
So anyway,
you're funny.
If you only knew that one.
You're funny.
Couple off-season items for you. So obviously Lamar's under contract through 2027. He's maybe an extension happens at some point to free up the next couple of years because his cap number skyrockets
way up,
as a lot of these mega deals do towards the back end. Aside from that, you're going to lose key pieces not key pieces, but there's a couple obvious. Marcus Williams isn't coming back. Arthur Mollett in the secondary probably not coming back.
Right.
Clearly they're going to have to continue to retool their trenches in the draft.
Yeah.
What I wanted to ask you though is there's been a lot of attention brought on Mark Andrews.
Yeah.
Not only because of what happened in the divisional round, not only because of how deep their tight end room is, but because of his number moving forward cap-wise. And so I guess I ask you, when you view him as a potential trade candidate, and just to catch you up on yesterday, maybe if you haven't spruced up on the Ravens side of things when it comes to Eric DeCosta's press conference, there's some of us folks within the media cycle in Baltimore felt like that was him up there praising him in a way of speaking to all 31 other teams and being like, give me an offer.
It could be. I haven't seen it yet, right? I would love to see it too because I love watching and kind of getting a feel for what guys are trying to send a message to, what it may be. I don't think it's a crazy thought. He's still really damn good. Isaiah Likely is really damn good too. I know you got the kid from Iowa State.
Kohler.
That I'm blanking out on.
Charlie Kohler.
So there are some guys there. I understand that. And if you did have one piece that you went, hey, wait, this is an asset that we could trade and get something back and kind of help our team out here for the future as we continue to retool and be the damn Ravens who are good forever and all the time, right? I can understand the thought. I can. Now, it's just going to be about, how do they feel? Where's he at in his career? Was the year a hair down just because of all the injuries and the car accident and just some of the stuff he had to deal with? Or do they think like, oh, damn, no, he's still at the top of his game, and next year he'll be right back at the top? I think it's a good conversation, and I would not be shocked if we continue to hear like him in the trade market conversation.
My goal for the rest of the way, and as you know, this is the mecca of media at the Combine, right? Whether you're at Prime, whether you're at Velocity, wherever you are, you're running into people. My goal moving for the next couple of days is to try and speak with some of the insiders about potential willing partners.
Yeah.
Right. What would the potential willing tight end needy teams be?
Well, it might be in a team right here. Indianapolis is right off the bat. Indianapolis needs a tight end. Okay. I mean, 100%. They'd be one for sure. But yeah, I mean, if teams start to feel that he's on the trade market, I mean, this is what teams are doing. This is why a few head coaches aren't here. They're already trying to – the number one priority in most organizations right now is trying to figure out free agency and the plan of attack there. They're just in their infancy phases of the draft stuff, right? Sure. Yeah, the GM and the scouts, they know the draft stuff. Sure, I get that. But a lot of the big coaches and other decision makers are just like, wait, I've just watched a few plays of this guy so far. I'm just getting to learn this guy. I'm not there yet.
Sure.
But yeah, that'll be another thing that's interesting to see.
At the end of the day, we know this is going to be a business decision.
Right.
But as a former quarterback, I would love to get your perspective on this. I mean, other things that you missed from yesterday's press conference is Eric referring to Lamar as a, quote, stakeholder, a partner. I mean, this is somebody who directly influences the front office, as most mega star quarterbacks would.
This is the era we're in.
Lamar has earned that.
Right,
too. And Eric shared that yesterday, and that was not news. I'm just trying to keep you up to speed here.
Cool. I like it.
But where I'm going with this is his security blanket we're talking about. This is the franchise leader in touchdowns going into year 8. This is Lamar's draft classmate.
I get it.
This is somebody who ultimately would make any team better would make the Ravens weaker if you were to leave.
Right.
How much of that goes into the front office picture? And if you're if you can put on your quarterback hat,
yeah,
I gotta believe that Lamar's like, no way.
Well,
let him go.
I mean, I know he likes Mark Andrews. That's for sure. Who wouldn't? I mean, you've always heard the saying, the quarterback's best friend's the tight end. He works the middle of the field. He's big. You can throw it anywhere.
Yeah.
Right. But again, you can't have it all. And sometimes it's like you said, it's football. It's decision. The good teams every now and then, you got to cut ties with players before you want to. And the other thing I would say on top of that, like if this was 4 years ago and I'd go, wait, the support system's not very good. He's the man. We got to do that. Then I wouldn't like it. Yeah. But where the current state of the team is right now is Zay Flowers being one of the best weapons in football. Rashad Bateman, I think just staying healthy, he's damn good, right? And then Isaiah Likely, and then, one of the best hot running backs of all time and a pretty damn good O-line, right? This is, to me, again, these are things why the Eagles are who they are.
Sure.
They've made moves a little bit maybe before they should have. They got a little lucky sometimes with Sam Bradford, Carson Wentz. We got the trade. We got to get that back. But that's the type of stuff and decisions that help you stay ahead of the curve. And that's where I can see the logic. And it's been on my radar. But what's his number this year? 11, 10? As far as what he's supposed to make?
Andrews?
Yeah.
So I believe if they were to trade him, it'd be like an $11 million difference.
Okay.
Yeah,
so they save $11 million.
Yeah,
right.
They're not releasing him, obviously.
Yeah, got you.
But I believe the number is 11.
Okay. Yeah.
Which, hey, when Lamar's on the deal that he is, and you're probably going to extend Derrick Henry, I would think, here in the next – there's a lot of smoke around that. That's not going to free up a ton. I mean, he's making, what, eight
but
per year? But
if you could save money and get draft picks – and money like that could get you another pass rusher, maybe a rental for the year, another D tackle inside, another corner, maybe.
Yes.
That's I'm looking for a place for a 1-year deal to show I can play, so I can strike it. Like that's the type of money that'll do that, that's where people kind of lose sight of that sometimes.
You need a Brandon Stevens replacement, and then ultimately, they have been extremely productive when it comes to sack production over the last 2 years.
Definitely.
But nothing to show for it in January. And I guess that's what's so frustrating.
Yes.
Right? They got beat in the trenches in Buffalo.
Well, they got to.
Okay, they beat them.
Well, they beat themselves. I mean, come on. But Buffalo couldn't stop them the whole fucking game.
Yeah,
sorry for the F word. Sorry. Welcome to Chris.
Luckily, we are fucking unbuttoned here.
Yeah. But that's, they outplayed Baltimore. They messed it. I mean, Buffalo, they messed it up. But something I've talked about on my pod a ton, I know they lead the league in sacks. I get that. But I never look at them as going, this is one of the best pass rushing groups in football. Never. Absolutely not. They lead the league in sacks because Mike McDonald was awesome about coming up with blitzes and Anthony Weaver. It's schematics. It's creativity that's doing it. Right? And again, the team that we just saw won the Super Bowl didn't blitz one freaking play.
Right.
And it was just the front four all game long. And that's what they did. And that's, to me, definitely something that needs to be addressed in Baltimore. If there's two things I look at the roster, I'd like to see another cover corner or two so we don't have to play zone all the time. And if we can find one more legit pass rusher to round out the group so we don't have to find a creative blitz all the time to get to the quarterback.
Quick step aside here. Got to tell you about this episode's sponsor and where I'm crashing this week. Downtown Hotel Indy. But what an awesome week it continues to be here in Indianapolis at the 2025 NFL Scouting Combine. And I have to shout out this episode's sponsor and somebody that's making this entire week possible for me here on the road in Indy, and that is the folks at Hotel Indy. And man, we are right in the heart of downtown Indianapolis. And take a look at where I dined last night. I got myself an espresso martini, a little meal up here at the Cannonball Lounge, high atop Hotel Indy. It's awesome. And it's an exclusive rooftop destination. It offers the ultimate relaxation with unmatched city views at a nice sunset to go along with it as well. But my favorite part about the experience so far at Hotel Indy is the location. We're steps from the Indiana Convention Center, which is where I've been working all week and giving you these types of interviews. You're steps from Lucas Oil Stadium. Your steps from Gainbridge Fieldhouse where the Pacers play. I mean, it's been awesome. And all the steakhouses are around there as well, like Prime 47, which is where everybody in the NFL gets together at night. So I've been blown away by the experience. I want to say thank you to Hotel Indy. You can find them on Instagram at Hotel Indy. I have links to their Facebook account and IG accounts down below in the show notes. If you click on the link that's at the top of the show notes, you'll get 10% off your next stay. So if you're coming to town for business or pleasure or the combine next year, you name it, click on that link. And I'll just take you quickly through the site as well, because there's a lot more than just the Cannonball Lounge at Hotel Indy. Here's a look at some of the rooms. They gave me a freaking private executive suite. Here's the king size room, the queen size room. Look at the modern type feel. Great natural light. There's a ton of space. You got the suites room as well. Of course, wireless internet works very well as well. You got the in-room coffee station, but I don't know. I just, here's the lobby. Everything is very welcoming. The people are great. Feel that Midwestern charm all throughout this place. So, again, I just want to continue to say thank you to Hotel Indy and hope that you guys give it a try if you are in the Indianapolis area. And without further ado, more with my guy, Chris Sims. You know, Kyle Van Noy is reaping the rewards of what we're just talking about.
No doubt. He's a really
well.
good player. He does everything well. Yeah. Do I look at him and go, oh, he's a definite 12 sack a year type of guy? No, he needs a little system help that way, but I do like him. And
what an awesome story.
That's cool. You're doing the Bobby Bachelor at Hotel Indy. That makes a lot of sense. That's good.
I got to tell you, they rolled out the freaking right carpet.
Damn, I bet. Well, they know you're the Bachelor you are, so they were like, let's roll it out.
Next year, we're going to have to get you involved. You should see this.
My wife doesn't want me hanging around bachelors, all right? She doesn't want me with you.
Listen, I just need a wingman. That's all I need. The wingman is not going to have any skin in the game here, all right? That's all I'm saying. Yep. But, no, it's been a lot of fun here in Indianapolis for sure. I know I got to get you out of here in a minute, but what are you looking at big picture this week? It doesn't even have to be Baltimore centric.
No,
you know, workouts are starting, interviews are happening. What are you looking at?
I love, like, this is my first, like leading up to coming here. I'm kind of like, I follow the coach's lead a little bit. I just go, let me watch 15 plays of this guy just so I have a feel when I interview him on my shows and I can talk to him a little bit. And I'm at the beginner stages as well, but I'd love to see them in person. Right? Yeah. There's something to say. I mean, not every 6'3", 250-pound guy is the same, right? There's attributes about him where I've been around football my whole life. I grew up seeing Lawrence Taylor, where I go, I think I know what a good pass rusher looks like. And sometimes you can see two guys, one 6'3", 250, and the other one 6'3", 250, and you go, yeah, but there's a different way these guys are built.
Sure.
That one, I don't like how the weight's distributed. It's a little soft.
Yep.
This guy's got a pair of legs and an ass on him, and, you know, a neck and shoulders that's just different.
Out of this world.
Right? And those are the kind of things that, you know, for me, when it's like, wait, I like both these guys, it's an even, I'm going to go with the guy that in person I was just more impressed with the body or whatever else.
Well, how about this then? Who you have spoken to or who you have looked at? You know the Ravens organization.
Yeah.
Has anybody jumped out to you as Raven-like?
Well, I mean, you guys pillaged. I've been saying this since my days back in Bleacher Report. The Ravens pillage the biggest, baddest dudes on the planet every year, right? That's just the Raven way. I mean, when the Ravens are almost always the biggest team on the field, one of the scarier teams on the field when you look at them. This is a big pass rusher draft. This is a big in offense and defensive line draft. That's what's good for the Ravens.
Yeah.
Now, there's some guys, like I know everybody's got Abdul Carter number 1 off the edge. I'm going to just say in my little watching, I think that conversation is going to be a little more competitive than people realize. And I know people sometimes say, oh, he's the number 1 pick in the draft. But when I see 3 or 4 other guys that I go, wait, they're almost every bit as good, and I don't know, maybe when I do my deep dive in 2 weeks, they might be better, that hurts his value.
Oh, yeah.
You're not going to go number 1 if there's 3 other guys that people go, these guys are just as good, just a hair less, right? So that's going to be another interesting one. This Shamar Stevens from Texas A&M.
Oh, Shamar Stewart.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Like,
dude. Have you seen him yet?
I talked to him today. First off, he's charismatic.
He's been mocked to Baltimore, so tell us about
him. Well, he'd be a biggest, baddest pillager on the planet.
Not, you know what the knock is? What's the knock?
Well, there's production.
Yes.
1.5 sacks. I watched enough film. Well, my response is, first off, in college football, the quarterbacks run if the first guy's not open ever. So you never get a real pass rush. Quarterbacks don't sit in the pocket and wait for things to develop like Lamar or Mahomes or Justin Herbert do in the NFL. So therefore, you don't have the chances to get the sacks the same way. The quarterbacks, and a lot of times, like I watch games, especially with him, it's like they looked at one guy and they ran. And I'm going, oh, he's coming around the edge to get the sack. But this quarterback's an idiot and just decided to run out of the pocket. And lucky he got lucky here. The other thing, too, is, you know, there's plenty of times he beats the tackle easily. Oh, it's a screen pass. Oh, it's this pass over here. And you go, well, damn, he was going to get the sack here. But college football is all read option, RPO, so you don't get those chances. The other thing, too, and I'm big on this stat, and I believe I invented it, is the fuck the play-up stat, okay? Because I'm sick of
say that again?
Fuck the play-up stat.
Okay.
Where I'm going to go, Why isn't like Aaron Donald, Michael Bennett back in the day? I used to always say Michael Bennett on the Seattle Seahawks was the best defensive player on the team. I'd go, if you watch the game, he ruins every play. He never gets the tackle or the sack.
Right.
But he is the one that ruins it. And now the running back had to run backwards over here, and somebody else got the tackle. We go, good play by that guy. Yeah. And I'm going, no, Michael Bennett was the guy that did it all. Aaron Donald did it all. And so that's what the F the play up is. The guy that disrupted and ruined the play, but doesn't get on the stat sheet. I see that from him. Like, you watch certain plays and you go, he just collapsed the whole left side of the offensive line. The running back wanted to run right down the middle, and he got crushed by his own people and got knocked down, and then the other defense end just touched him down, and he got the tackle. When I want to go, the dude number 4 just ruined it. He's the one that made the play.
Moral of the story.
Moral of the story
you want
is
people to dive deeper than his underwhelming statistics.
Don't stop everybody looking at stats all the time. We got to get out of this. We got to get out of it. We're obsessed with stats right now. I had this argument with Marvin Harrison Jr. last year. I got vilified for putting Malik Neighbors and Brian Thomas Jr. ahead of him in my wide receiver rankings.
How'd that work out?
Yeah, it worked pretty good. But you can't tell anybody, oh, look at his stats.
Right.
So he's at Ohio State. Oh, my gosh, look at this. This is amazing. How about just turn on the film a little bit and go, wait, these LSU guys are burning by people, and he's not really getting open, and he just uses his body and good route running to do that. And that's where I hate the stat reading shit sometimes.
You know who you're making me think of, I got to let you go, but from a Baltimore perspective, Odafe Oweh.
I hear you. Odafe Oweh, I thought was better than when he was coming out.
But along the lines of what Shamar Stewart's receiving on the knock side is what Odafe got coming out of Penn State.
He definitely did.
Well, guess what? They just picked up his 5th-year option. He hits double digits in sacks. I mean, he had a year.
And it's more about sacks. It's
now,
more
people want him
sacks.
to finish consistently.
Yeah,
I get that.
I hear you.
He's got Chuck Smith as his outside linebackers coach. It was a great start. He's coming to Baltimore.
I think that picking up the 5th-year option tells you everything what they think about him. That's all you get to know. He's a damn good player. Is he the pass rusher we want? Maybe not, but he's a really good football player that's a starter for a long time. This kid's even more than that. He's even more than that. And I'm just going to tell you now, there's no way the Ravens are going to get him unless they trade up or he somehow falls dead for a few days and then falls down in the draft.
Stewart.
Yeah, Shamar Stewart.
You're calling your shot. You think it's
there's no way.
Top half?
Definitely. I think he's going to be one you're just going to see continue to go up because everybody's going to go, oh, my gosh. And I have a feeling, and I've had a few birdies in my ear tell me he's going to run 4.4 at 280. So if he does that, see you later to when the Ravens are around.
And they're not giving up their 11.
No,
you know they're not giving up their 11.
Yeah. Oh,
they got 11 of them.
Damn, yeah.
11 picks.
You're right. You're
right.
right.
Is not giving.
I wouldn't think so.
He's not giving.
I wouldn't think so. But if this guy's in striking distance, he might give up 1 or 2 to get him. I don't know.
They're going to wait till that freaking player who's dropping falls right to their lap at 27 like Wiggins last year.
That would be great. That would be great.
So, anyway, I got to let you go, Chris Sims, but appreciate you.
Thanks for stopping by. Best of luck.
Yep.
Go Ravens. I like Ravens. I like Lamar Jackson, too.
Wingman.
Stop hating on me.
I'll be getting a hold of you.
Yeah, good luck.
Wingman duties.
My wife, she's Sicilian. She might get after you.
Appreciate you, man.
See you, buddy.
Yeah.